Thank you for joining us. We do continue our discussion with Etv Motsepe. We've just got a few more questions that we'd really like for him to answer, so we'll get right into it. Etv Motsepe, now, how many gold has contributed close to about 16 billion into the IMF for the development of BRICS and the association in its own?
Government.
Government. Is it government? My apologies on that. What are the benefits or objectives that we can see going into that for such a big sum to be contributed to that organization?
Well, in terms of I arrived early this morning at home and I saw this note on TV concerning the contribution of the South African government to the IMF. You've got to look at South Africa as a country within the global context. We manufacture, here in the Free State, we mine gold, we export the gold. It's being purchased in various other parts of the world. As a country, we have to be part of this global economy and make our contributions, not only in terms of our obligations as a member of the IMF, but also in terms of recognizing that the stability of the global economy and the growth of the global economy creates a continuous market for us as South Africa to export and to sell the commodities that we produce. So the contribution by the South African government in terms of its obligations in the IMF is very, very important in terms of our role and obligations we have in the global economy.
And then looking at such contributions made to the global economy, and also looking at our BRICS alliance, Minister, what are some of the tangible things that we can see come out currently from the BRICS alliance?
Well, I'm glad business has come out strong on this. And people must understand, it doesn't mean that government has taken money of the poor and thrown it out of the country. $2 billion that has been handled by government in this regard is part of our contribution to these international financial institutions, the IMF, the World Bank. It's part of our commitment because we are a member, we are a partner. When all of them have got to contribute because the world is sinking, we also from time to time will be called upon to show our hand. Imagine, Patrice, if things go bad here. These mines stop functioning. Exports drop. The income that's supposed to come to South Africa from those countries that are collapsing. If Greece, Spain, Portugal, because they are our traditional trading partner, the United States and so on, Europe, if they come down, we can't sell. You can't sell your outspent oranges, you can't sell wines, you can export gold, you can, all these things. That's why those partners, when they fall and it's time to resuscitate, will help. One day, if it happens to us, and God forbid it shouldn't, if it happens to us, we'll be expecting as well that different parts of the world should come on board. So I'm very happy that Mr. Motsepe spoke like this, but people should understand we are not doing as government what we are doing to throw away money from the poor. That's why today we're here to show this other commitment.
And Etv Motsepe, how are small businesses within our country contributing or benefiting rather from an alliance such as the BRICS alliance?
Well, BRICS is very, very important. We've been part of discussions within BRICS even before South Africa became a member. But the whole global economy has changed, and you also have to look at the 2 billion contribution in relation to the IMF. That does not take away the prime focus in terms of our obligation and our commitment in South Africa and the obligations we have to small business. But the key issue for us as a country is we've got to identify those industries where we are globally competitive and begin to create opportunities for small businesses in those globally competitive sectors as a country. Because, some of our small businesses have been focusing on supplying goods and services to industries that are not doing so well. The textile industry globally has been dominated by the Chinese. And the future of South Africa, the future of the countries within BRICS, but taking into account that South Africa is inextricably intertwined with Africa. We only have 50 million people. We can't compete with the smallest country in BRICS, which is Brazil, with 200 million people. So we've got to get our small entrepreneurs to look at opportunities in South Africa. We as big business must continue to allocate a huge portion of our procurement, contracts and tendering opportunities to small business, but we must also encourage our small entrepreneurs to look at opportunities in sub-Saharan Africa and in the continent, but also within the BRICS context to identify those areas where South African entrepreneurs can sell to Brazil, in India, in China, in those industries where we are competitive.
Thank you so very much for that, Etv Motsepe. And as it is Hope Day, Wednesday on our Sunrise show, there is surely hope for our smaller businesses out there in South Africa. Thank you so very much for that. That was the Minister of Human Settlements and Data, Sekwale, as well as the Chairperson of Harmony Gold Mining Company, Patrice Motsepe. Let's go back to our Johannesburg studios.